I unleashed ancient fungi on my garden beds. They came alive in just a few days and exploded with harvests. Most gardeners, they chase fertilizers, compost teas, and every so-called miracle solution out there. But here's the truth I stumbled on. The most powerful garden booster isn't bottled in a factory. It's ancient, alive, and it's been hiding under our feet for millions of years. When I unleashed fungi into my garden beds, the soil shifted from tired and sluggish to bursting with energy. Within days, plants surged forward like they had been plugged into a hidden power source, and my harvests exploded beyond anything I'd seen before. This isn't hype. It's the real effect of tapping into the natural networks that nature designed long before modern gardening was even imagined. Most gardens look alive on the surface, but beneath, the soil often tells another story. Without a living ecosystem, beds are little more than holding containers for roots. Fertilizers may push short bursts of growth, but the foundation remains weak. The true architects of thriving soil are fungi, specifically mycorrhizal fungi. These aren't the mushrooms you spot after a storm, but invisible threads that form deep connections with plant roots. In exchange for sugars from the plant, fungi deliver minerals, nutrients, and water straight into the roots. The result is a win-win system that multiplies plant strength and resilience. When this partnership is missing, plants struggle no matter how much fertilizer you pour in. But when it's restored, the transformation is dramatic and lasting. Alright, so think of mycorrhizal fungi as root extenders. They actually expand a plant's reach up to, 100 times farther than its natural root system. That means water buried deep in the soil and nutrients locked in those really unreachable pockets suddenly become available. Even better, these fungal filaments create an underground network connecting plants to one another. Through this living web, stronger plants can share nutrients with weaker ones, and chemical signals can move across the garden, warning neighbors of pests or disease. It's a defense system, a food-sharing network, and a hydration pipeline all rolled into one. And honestly, it has been working quietly in forests and grasslands for millions of years. By bringing it back into our gardens, we're really just restoring a natural balance. Getting started was easier than I imagined. Mycorrhizal inoculants are sold as powders or granules, and each scoop holds billions of dormant fungal spores ready to bond with roots. For new beds, I mixed 1 tablespoon of inoculant per gallon of soil before planting. For my established beds, I made a simple solution. 2 tablespoons of inoculant mixed into 1 gallon of water. I poured this directly at the base of my plant so it could sink into the root zone. That was all it took. Within a week, growth took off. Tomato vines doubled in size, greens grew darker and fuller, flowers appeared early, promising a heavier fruit set. Unlike chemical fertilizers that give quick highs and then fade, the fungi kept working in the background, building strength that carried through the entire season. So the first harvest boost was exciting, but what really convinced me was what happened months later. My soil started behaving differently. It held water longer, meaning I watered less. It broke apart easily in my hands, which was proof of improved structure. And, roots were stronger and more extensive. Diseases that had plagued me before seemed to lose their grip. Plants that once collapsed under stress now stood firm, and pest damage was minimal. The fungi were doing more than just feeding plants, they were protecting them. And because the networks expand and survive from season to season, the effect didn't vanish after just one round. Each year the soil grew richer and the garden became less dependent on outside inputs. What struck me most was realizing this wasn't just about better tomatoes this season. By inviting fungi into my beds, I was building a legacy of living soil. Every crop I planted added to the system instead of draining it. Each year, the fungal networks grew stronger, turning my garden into a self-sustaining ecosystem. This is how nature intended plants to thrive, through cooperation, not constant intervention. As gardeners, when we partner with fungi, we shift from forcing growth to guiding it. The results are bigger harvests, healthier plants, and soil that improves instead of depletes over time. If your garden feels like it's stuck in neutral or you're tired of chasing quick fixes, this is your answer. Mycorrhizal fungi are the missing link that turns soil into a living engine of growth. Start simple, 1 tablespoon per gallon of soil for new beds, or a 2 tablespoon slurry in a gallon of water for existing plants. Apply it once, and let nature take over from there. I've seen firsthand how fast the change can happen, and I can promise you, it feels like gardening with a secret